Hello, welcome, man. As always, welcome to the aftermarket analysis session. This is an aftermarket analysis session that takes place every evening at 5 p.m. In this aftermarket session, we look at where buyers were seen in the market, where sellers were seen, and try to read the footprint in a good way. And we observe what happened when buyers came in and what happened when sellers came in. So, if you want to learn order flow and how to use it effectively, if you want to learn how to use GoCharting effectively, you can join this live session every day at 5 p.m. You will find the link to this live session on the GoCharting, Discord, and Telegram community. If you haven't joined the GoCharting Telegram and Discord, you can join them. We have provided a link in the description so that you can learn order flow more effectively. We have provided YouTube channels for GoCharting in every language. On these channels, you will find many videos to learn about order flow. The links to all those GoCharting channels are in the description, and you can also join the live sessions from here. A notification is also uploaded here before 5 p.m. every evening. The second most important thing is that there is a 30% discount on GoCharting Holy Offer. This offer will be available until the 7th on any annual, and the subscription you will get around a 30% discount. Look, it's a good opportunity. The yearly sale comes occasionally, so if you use GoCharting, this offer is just for you regularly. Today, let's see what we observed in Bank Nifty. Where was the buyer's confirmation? Where was the seller's confirmation? How and what was there? If you take a little confirmation from the volume profile, these were the resistance zones and volume nodes of Bank Nifty from yesterday. Alright, and this was a major resistance zone. Did it convert into the value area high? Did it convert into the value area low? So, these playing ranges are fine for us. Now, within these playing ranges, we look at what confirmation the order flow gave us and what we observed in the footprint. So, before reading the footprint, before closely examining the order flow, we need to know what delta is, because we are going to read the footprint with the help of delta. What is this delta? If we talk in one simple line, then the difference between buyers and sellers tells us delta. Like what delta is. The difference between buyers and sellers is what delta tells us. For example, this is the first candle. The delta value of this first candle is at the top. What is the delta value of this first candle that has come out in front of us? It's 14, and in this green box, so there is this positive delta, which always denotes buyers. Like anywhere there is a positive delta, it means it is showing buyers. This means the positive delta value of the first candle is around 14,000. So this means there are 14,000 more buyers in this first candle. As compared to sellers, okay, there are 14,000 more buyers compared to sellers. This delta within the first candle has informed us. Now, let's look at a candle that has a negative delta. Okay. So in the red box, there's a minus sign at the top. So there's a minus. This is a negative delta. Negative delta always denotes sellers. Like this candle's negative delta is around 11,000. So there are more sellers inside this candle. As compared to buyers, there are 11,000 more sellers. Okay, this is what delta tells us. It summarizes each candle, telling us who is more powerful inside the candle, the buyer or the seller. Now, how is this formed? In the first candle, let's assume there were around 54,000 buyers and around 40,000 sellers. So, who is more powerful? The buyers are more powerful by 14,000. Okay, so the same delta has given us a value of 14,000 here. Let's look at the negative side, for example. Like this candle has a negative delta. Okay, so there will be buyers around 10,000 within this candle. How many sellers will there be? Around 21,000. Okay, so how many more sellers are there? Around 11,000. So, delta has indicated this for each candle and told us one thing. So what will we do? We will pick those candles that have a heavy delta. Now, look at this heavy delta, like this candle, only 3,000, talking about both positive and negative. This candle, for example, has a delta of only 840. This one only 1,000. This one 2,000. Again 2,000. This one 1,607. 150. And one candle has a delta of 25,000. 30,000. 14,000. 7,000, meaning where it's only 1,280. 500, and where it's around 25,000 to 30,000. So, it means, within these candles, there's a lot of buying or a lot of selling. Now, look at this, 11,000 negative, so those candles with a high delta have a lot of buying and a lot of selling. Now, like this candle, its delta is only 840. So it means there was more selling within this candle, but it's slightly more, it doesn't have that strength. Those candles with a heavy delta, like if we talk about Bank Nifty, I think it will remain above 15, whether it's positive or negative, and if we talk about Nifty, it will be above 30. So, in Bank Nifty, we will pick only those candles whose delta is above 15,000, whether it's on the positive side or the negative side. Now, let's see which candles had a delta above 15,000. One candle is around 15,000, right? So, what is this first candle telling us? That inside this candle, the outside is more, around 15,000. Sometimes when the volume is very low, we can see a delta around or above 10,000 because the overall volume is low, so the delta will be low. Okay, when the volume is decent, like around 25,000 to 30,000, we start picking those deltas. When a significant delta from the first candle indicated that there were more buyers around 15,000 inside this candle. On the right side of the multiply, we have buyers, and on the left side, we have sellers. It's simple. Even a newcomer can understand that on the right side of the multiply are buyers, and on the left side are sellers. The delta showed that there are more buyers and a decent strength, so here we will only read the buy side because that's more prevalent inside this candle. Okay, so we looked at the buyer's side quickly, and what is that particular place where buying is the most? The most. First, the most buying happened around the 20,000 point, then 10,000, 13,000. Okay, so from the delta, we saw who is more buyers, then on the footprint, we saw which particular point exactly has the most buyers. So, this was the place where there were the most buyers, and we marked that zone. It's simple. In the next candle, there are also more buyers, significantly. Again, in the next candle, around 25,000, there are more buyers, and this is the place where the most buying happened. Again, in the next candle, around 32,000, there are the most buyers, 24, 22. Okay, this is the place where the most buying happened, meaning it shows that buying started from the first candle, and this was the point where the most buying activity started. Buying started from here, and the price moved. There was no buying absorption seen anywhere up to this point. A little bit was seen on the upper side, but it's good. Okay, let's keep it simple. Buying started from here, the activity went up to here. Okay, so the support should be this zone where the buying activity started. Now, let's see when it came back on the pullback and touched it, how much sense of selling was there. 11,000 of selling happened, but the support zone has not been broken by Bank Nifty yet. Okay, So now let's see these 443, just consider them as very little buying and selling happened. These are not the candles that have the potential to move the market. The candles that moved the market were these, and taking confirmation from these candles, let's see what continues ahead. There is no sign of selling, 1,000, 2,000 of selling, 2,000 of buying. These are all normal candles, touch the support zone and one simple. Buyer entered from here to there, moved the buyers, a pullback came, or the biggest buying activity had started, held that zone without any selling interest, two candles with negative delta, and this candle in which we got positive delta, meaning sellers went inside this candle, held it well, and we saw an upside move. Again, it came on this pullback, took a pin-to-pin pullback, and again gave an upside movement. Today, there was a very clear move in Bank Nifty. The buyer center was good, okay, and this delta of 25 and 30 was seen after many days. The volume in Bank Nifty has remained quite low. You had a very clear trade. The wire center had this pullback. Again, there was a pullback on the upside. If you look at the selling delta from the upside buying zone, you won't see it anywhere near 10,000. It's around 7,000. So what would be a better option? Wait for the sellers to leave from here. Wait for the next candle. The sellers left. See, you got a positive data of 2,000. Good confirmation about the fort zone. And if you know the case of selling options, then in whichever candle the selling happens, and it gets absorbed, even better confirmation comes out at one support. So this was about Bank Nifty. Now let's look at Nifty. Today's scenario for Nifty was very complicated. How complicated? Like Bank Nifty only needs 45 stocks to move. HDFC, ISSI, Axis, SBI. That's it. But what happens with Nifty is that to move Nifty, every index needs to be bullish. Every index needs to be bearish. Okay, before that, let's take a look at the volume profile confirmation once. Look here. What was the confirmation of the volume profile? It held for quite a few days here. It also held for quite a few days here, and this zone was formed. This zone is quite important. Okay, today Nifty came back within the same range. Okay, so let's see what kind of confirmation we got within that same range. Again, we need to pick above 30 in this. The first candle's mass buying is quite a large buying. Friends, the buying zones are 152, 102, 50, 60, 40, meaning the buying started from 40K and went up to here. Again, in the next candles, there was back-to-back buying on the pullback. Now, what happened here on the pullback was that there was selling in every candle, and in the end, it kept happening. But during the pullback, it couldn't hold anywhere. Okay, once the buying zone broke below, the buying from the zone that broke, now nothing, sorry. The police didn't remain in Nifty because it's simple. If there's a big buying activity happening somewhere, okay, it should be respected during the pullback. Only then will some policing come. But here this buying broke, so now nothing. As soon as it broke, let's see what big volume was there. There was a buying activity above 30K. Here it was 44K. Okay, and if we mark this buying activity, 44K, and this was from the buying zone of 39K, simply first delta gave, saw above 30K, 44K, quite a good buying activity, saw the buying zones, marked the buying zone. Now this buying activity happened. After this buying, what happened? Rejection came from there. So this means that this buying has been absorbed here. Again, a pullback came. Okay. Now Nifty has come up to here. Okay. So this was the support zone. The buying was absorbed. Selling came in this candle. A slight pullback happened. Again on the downside. Again saw another selling of 50K. Okay. This was from the selling zone. But in these selling zones, we saw absorption somewhere. Why did we see absorption? As the next candle made transactions upwards, okay, and neither did it go down properly. Like, see this, a buying activity happened. Absolutely pin market didn't go above this even for a second, nor did any transaction happen above. So we can say that this buying was absorbed here. A pullback happened, one down, one selling happened. Now the very next candle broke that selling zone. So this selling zone here means that somewhere this selling zone was absorbed here. So now it can't work as much resistance because this selling was absorbed here. Again came on the pullback, and while taking rejection here, this was the closing date. This was Nifty's. Nifty wasn't that good today. It was sideways, just gave one movement from here to here. After that, it was just sideways within these ranges. The whole day was sideways within these ranges. The whole day from 520 to 620, 600, the whole day. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Don't hold back. Ask yourself.